so it's Writing Wednesday. Actually, semi-writing, more teaching Wednesday, because I'm actually grading a bunch of my students' papers. But that got me thinking about the whole process of having your writing judged by someone, which is an experience that most people don't have a lot after they leave school and stop taking English classes. But of course, if you choose to be a professional writer, it's going to keep happening to you over and over again every time you submit something for publication. Or every time you enter something in a writing contest, which is what I'm thinking about particularly this week. I'm a big believer in entering writing competitions, and it's something I always recommend to beginning writers, especially young writers. I recommended it to my daughter, who is 13 this year. She did it last year with a local writing contest, had the heady experience of winning and seeing her work in print. This year she entered again and didn't have that heady experience, so she's had the equally valuable experience of entering a contest and losing. I personally have been entering writing contests ever since I was her age. I have won a few prizes here and there, which has been great. I would say for every time I've won in a writing contest, there have probably been between 5 and 10 times that I haven't won anything. You got to rack up a lot of losses for the few wins that you're going to get. What's been really valuable to me is something that will happen to a lot of writers if you keep at the business long enough, and particularly if you're in an area where, there's a fairly lively writing community. Sooner or later, you're going to be asked to judge a writing contest, and that is a really interesting experience, because when you're judging a contest, you get to see firsthand how tough the job is and how completely subjective it is. So I have had the experience of reading a story that I thought was great and absolutely loved, and then the other judge who was on the jury with me, because most of these contests are judged by more than a single person, didn't love it. The other person just didn't connect with that story, and vice versa. Other people have loved a story that I didn't connect with. Or I've read stories that I thought were great, really, really terrific, but there were others that were even better. And that's the really hard thing. When you read something that's beautiful and you want to give it a prize, but it's competitive. And when something is competitive, you have to stack things up one against another, and there are always losers, and that is really, really hard. But it does help you to see that just the fact that you entered a competition and didn't win anything does not mean that your writing wasn't any good. Not that long ago, I had the experience of doing both, and I mean at the same time, like literally. I entered something in a competition that I thought, and I don't always think this when I enter something, I thought had a really good shot of winning. It was a competition I was familiar with. It was in fact one I had judged some years ago. I knew what they were looking for, and I knew this piece was really strong, and I thought, I've got a really good chance of coming out with a prize this year. But I get the envelope back with a nice positive adjudication full of fine words, but no prize. My story was good, but somebody else's was better. Or at least it was judged by that particular jury of judges to be better. And remember, this is completely subjective. And at the very same time, indeed on the same day that I was getting back my non-winning story from one contest, I was in another contest reading someone else's piece of writing and thinking, I really, really like this. This is really good, but I'm not going to end up putting it on my short list for the prize because there are others that are just that little bit ahead. And that is a tough thing. It's a tough thing whichever end of it you're on. In spite of that, I really encourage other writers to enter writing contests, especially young writers or beginning writers. It's a great way to get practice and experience with sending your stuff out. If it's an adjudicated contest, it's a great way to get the judgment of more experienced writers who give you a critique on it. Really great thing to do. Just remember, it's not the ultimate judgment from heaven on your writing, or definitely not on you as a human being. It's one judge or one jury's opinion about where a particular piece of your writing happened to fall in relation to a bunch of others that they got for that competition, and that is something that you can never have any control over. I know that makes it sound discouraging, but I still believe it's a really good thing. So if you've never entered a writing contest, check it out. If you're a young writer, if you're still in school, ask your teachers, ask your instructors about contests you might be eligible for. If you're a writer in a genre or in a particular local region, check out contests that are in your area or in the area that you like to write about. There's bound to be something you can enter, and I can't guarantee you'll win. I definitely can't, even if I'm judging. I'd love to give you a prize, but I can't guarantee it. But I can guarantee it'll be a valuable experience, so do it.